A community's worst fears are realized in the search for a missing Lumberton teen.
And thousands of flights are canceled nationwide, messing with students' return from Thanksgiving. I'm Abigail Brown.
And I'm Alexis Clinton. You're watching Carolina News Today.
Carolina News Today is brought to you in part by the Wing Company of Pembroke, serving award-winning wings fresh, not frozen. Live entertainment weekly, 703 West 3rd Street in Pembroke. 10% discount for students and teachers every day. TheOriginalWingCo.com.
A Lumberton family's worst fears have been realized. The search for missing teenager Hania Aguilar is over. Her body was found just 10 miles from her home. For 3 weeks, law enforcement and volunteers were looking for the 13-year-old girl who was kidnapped when she went out to wait for the school bus. Wednesday, police announced they had identified the remains.
We believe we had found the body of 13-year-old Hania Aguilar. The body was found in a body of water off the Wiregrass Road in Robeson County about 4:45 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Today, the state medical examiner official said preliminary tests indicates the body that they found is Hania's. But final confirmation will be done using a dental records comparison.
Some North Carolina lawmakers are getting together to talk about legalizing marijuana. Representative Kelly Alexander and other members of the General Assembly, who sponsored pro-marijuana bills in previous sessions, met on Monday to talk about cannabis reform. One idea that Alexander is advancing is a local approach to marijuana legalization. This idea is inspired by the state's county-by-county approach to alcohol sales. Alexander and others are planning to rally to take place in Raleigh in January.
Getting back home from the Thanksgiving holiday weekend proved to be difficult for thousands of people nationwide. A snowstorm in the Northeast canceled more than 1,700 U.S. flights Sunday. According to flight tracking website FlightAware, 5,000 more flights suffered delays. One passenger who was stuck at Charlotte Douglas Airport in North Carolina described the frustrations there.
Crazy backed up lines, people insane, people fighting to get in line, and everybody miserable. And the flight attendants and the ticket agents, bless their heart, they're trying, but they're miserable too.
Early Monday, an additional 1,000 flights nationwide were canceled. Here in the Sandhills, temperatures didn't even get down to freezing until this week.
The Canadian-based tissue maker Cascades plans to create 66 new jobs in Scotland County. The company was given over $500,000 in incentives to expand their operations in Wagram. The incentives were announced by the State Economic Investment Committee on Tuesday. The deal requires that the jobs be added over a 2-year period, and the company must also retain the 220 positions it already has in North Carolina. Governor Roy Cooper was at the plant Tuesday for the announcement. Cascades will invest $58 million in the Wagram facility.
The university's IT department is preparing to roll out a new method of printing on campus in January. New printing kiosks have been tested, and a batch of them has been ordered for use with students' Brave cards. The kiosks are USB equipped, but will also be on the network, so students can access their documents in the cloud via the Google Suite or OneDrive. Brave cards will have credit for $10 worth of printing per semester, paid for by student fees at 8 cents per sheet for basic black and white pages. The kiosk can also do color and double-sided printing, which the existing computer labs don't offer. Chief Information Officer Nancy Crouch says there's a lot to like about the WePod printing solution.
I think our students will like the flexibility of this service because it really complements their lifestyle more. So it's sort of anytime, anywhere. I could be sitting right here, right now, and print something from my device and then go pick it up over in the UC or go pick it up on my way to class. One of the things that students were frustrated with our our current printing service, is if you want to print, you have to be in that lab and print to that printer. You don't have to do that anymore. And the WEPA machines will also be positioned so they're in public locations. So before, the printer would have been inside a lab if that door was locked. Not only did you have to be in there to print to it, but then you can't get to it if the door's locked. Now the stations will be out where they can access them. They'll be available in the library, they'll be available in the UC, so they will be much more accessible to them.
7 locations on campus will get the new devices. Students will also be able to print in other schools that have the WEPA kiosk.
Last month, we told you about the campus library's book sale. What's being done with all the space that's been freed up on the first floor? Well, they're trying to attract more patrons with different uses of the space. CNT reporter Monet Gillum took a look around.
The new look Mary Livermore Library is making strides towards the future. Dean of Library Dr. Dennis Swanson is focused on making the library as useful to students as possible.
So we have a cafe and we let you have your, you can eat, sit down, you don't have to, when it's time to eat, you don't have to get up and leave and go somewhere else. You can stay here in the building. We've tried to make some space with these new whiteboards and the huddle spaces with the technology down there available to students.
As technology advances, paper books are becoming a thing of the past. While there are still a number of physical copies located in the library, books are starting to take up less space on shelves while the library transitions to an online database.
They've gotten back, they like the changes, they like the things that are going on. It's one of those things that has to, the faculty has to become familiar with it fully, and then they can begin to transmit it to the students.
I mean, because nobody, library books are kind of, they're not a thing. I mean, they clearly exist, but like they say, everything's in the cloud now. Anything that you could find a physical copy of here, you could definitely find on the internet 20 times faster and chew down to the parts where you actually need. So it's the process of getting information has become a lot more efficient.
I'm Monet Gilliam from Carolina News Today.
It was a chilly night for an annual Pembroke holiday tradition on Tuesday, the lighting of Old Main. Those who braved the cold were rewarded with free Pembroke mugs, hot chocolate, and cookies. Music students serenaded the crowd with traditional carols. Chancellor Cummings welcomed the crowd and remarked on the December holidays of various religions. He introduced SGA President Omar Torres before inviting some children to help throw the symbolic switch to turn those holiday lights that will adorn Old Main until the new year.
A routine traffic stop in North Carolina turned into a surprise birthday over the weekend. With a dash camera rolling, Sergeant Brian Maynard pulled over a speeding van in Wake County Saturday. There, the state trooper was confronted by a frantic Jimmy Baker and his pregnant wife, Laura, who was deep in labor. Maynard called an ambulance, grabbed gloves and a blanket, then went to the car to help.
When I stopped my car, he got out and he said that his wife was in labor and he was trying to get to the hospital. And I said, right now? And he's like, yeah, right now.
He looked at me, he was like, we might have to deliver this baby because she was just...
I was telling him the baby was in my pants, that they needed to help me. I was like, I need some help. My water broke and she's in my pants.
EMS made it in enough time to deliver the couple's baby girl. The newly arrived Halen Baker was taken to the hospital with her mom and dad. Halen's appearance was a little unexpected, though. She wasn't due for another 4 days.
2 tornadoes touched down in Carteret County over the weekend, and nearly 15,000 people in the region ended up without power. Here's the story of 2 survivors who faced the daunting task of rebuilding not once, but twice.
I didn't know if we were going to make it. We were just survival mode. We just had seconds. Yeah. I just thought the whole house was going to go up the way it was going. I was sitting right there in that blue chair, only it was a lot closer.
Looked at this huge cloud kind of rolling over top the house in front.
The wind just, gave a really big gust. And so we both looked and I saw that tornado coming. I said, that's a tornado. And by the time we got to the closet, the windows blew in and the roof blew off and the rafters came down.
When the air around them settled, they stepped out of their hiding place.
Pushed our way out and then we were just shocked to see what we saw.
That was scary.
Just to know that we were sitting there seconds before.
If we'd been in here, we'd have been really, really hurt or dead.
Just like these pies.
We didn't even have a scratch on us.
It's amazing. Fast action and not delaying and taking cover really got the job done.
And the hallway was the safest place because it had multiple door frames.
After surviving Hurricane Florence,
I found the ceiling fan across the street in the trees.
then taking on an EF2 tornado, Jonna and Mike Frost say they only care about each other's safety.
I wasn't worried about what loss we had with, things we own, if you know what I mean.
Mike Frost makes it pretty clear that after surviving 2 natural disasters, he values the people he loves the most.
A visionary in children's television dies young.
And an endangered frog species gets its day in court. The U.S. Supreme Court, that is.
Those stories and more after these messages.
I worked 12-hour shifts at the recycling company with my dad, who's 72. That taught me a work ethic that I carry with me every day.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
A former Virginia Tech student convicted in connection to the 2016 murder of a teen girl learned her punishment in court Tuesday. A judge sentenced Natalie Kepler to 45 years in prison, with 5 of those years suspended. She was found guilty back in September of helping David Eisenhower plan the murder of 13-year-old Nicole Lovell, whose body was found in North Carolina. The prosecution said Kepler needed to be locked up for a long time.
Her actions in this case show that her release constitutes a danger to the public.
The victim had been lured from her house and stabbed to death. David Eisenhower was sentenced to 50 years in prison back in June after being convicted of murder.
The creator of the animated Nickelodeon show SpongeBob SquarePants has died. Steven Hillenburg was 57 years old. At Nickelodeon, they observed a moment of silence to honor his life and work. Hillenburg had been diagnosed with the neurodegenerative disease ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. He told Variety magazine at the time that he intended to work on his show for as long as possible. The series about a creature named SpongeBob and his various under-the-sea friends has aired since 1999 and now reaches more than 200 countries and is translated into more than 50 languages. The show has earned numerous awards during its run and has been adapted into a Broadway musical.
A Tennessee highway is open again after a semi-truck carrying 41,000 pounds of chicken nuggets crashed. Crews in Westmoreland, about 50 miles northeast of Nashville, have been cleaning up chicken nuggets on the Highway 31 for hours. The semi was reportedly involved in a head-on crash. At least one person was injured.
They scratch, move, and snore, but a recent study shows women who sleep with dogs in their beds get a better night's rest. Researchers at Canisius College in Buffalo found that women report less disturbed sleep and greater feelings of security and comfort. Women who share their beds with cats did not show those benefits and reported disrupted sleep as much as women who share a bed with a human partner. The correlation between better sleep with dogs is based on self-reported data and has not been confirmed using an objective measure. Dog owners also tend to go to sleep and wake up earlier than cat owners.
Amazon is breaking records again. This year, Cyber Monday was once again the single biggest shopping day in the company's history. In fact, the online retailer says from Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday, customers ordered more than 180 million items. Toys and electronics were some of the most popular items that landed in people's virtual carts. Other bestsellers included Amazon's voice-activated Echo Dot, the Instant Pot pressure cooker, and Ancestry's DNA test. The nation's highest court has dealt a big setback to an endangered amphibian. The Supreme Court ruling Tuesday sent a lawsuit back to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in a unanimous decision that's looking good for private landowners. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service had designated thousands of acres in Louisiana and Mississippi as critical habitat for the dusty gopher frog, which does not currently live there. A timber company and others argued that the land needed too much modification to support the frog's required ecosystem. The Supreme Court ruled that they have the right to challenge the agency's cost-benefits analysis and sent it back to trial.
The season is winding down for fall sports, so how did cross country finish at regionals?
The women's basketball team had a point differential of 40 points in Sunday's game, but who came out on top?
Ty the Sports Guy has those answers and more right after these messages.
I am a first-generation college student, and I am Brave Nation.
I'm a musician, and I am Brave Nation.
I am Palestinian Muslim, and I am Brave Nation.
I am from Monrovia, Liberia, and I am Brave Nation.
I am a leader, and I am Brave Nation.
I'm a Christian, and I am Brave Nation.
I am Omega Psi Phi and Phi Mu Alpha, and I am Brave Nation.
I am disabled, and I am Brave Nation.
Choose to transform.
Choose to discover.
Choose value.
Choose to make a difference.
Choose to succeed.
Choose to be a brave.
When you choose UNC Pembroke, you choose small classes and personal attention. You choose quality and affordability. Because we are an NC Promise campus, tuition is only $500 a semester in-state and $2,500 a semester out-of-state. Visit uncp.edu or call 910-521-6262 for more information.
I did some research and I saw the demographics, the certifications, and the faculty and stuff like that, and I knew I wanted to at least visit. So I came down here for a visit, and my program advisor showed me around the place, the program, the buildings, and stuff like that, and I fell in love. I knew that this is where I wanted to go to school.
Hello, I'm Grady Hunt, a lifelong resident of Robeson County and the father of 3 children. Each year, an average of 43 residents die as a result of vehicle crashes right here in Robeson County. To change this statistic, we have formed a task force called Robeson County Vision Zero. This is an ambitious effort. We have partnered with the North Carolina Department of Transportation and others, but it will take all of us to achieve this goal. Please visit our website to find out how you can help.
Hey everybody, I'm Tyler Hughes. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to update you with Brave Sports, so naturally, I've got a lot coming your way. I'll go ahead and settle in. I'll start with Braves football. Right before the break, they had a game against Catawba College, which was a makeup from the beginning of the season when Hurricane Florence hit. The game went into overtime after Catawba blocked a potential game-winning point after attempt with 15 seconds left. In overtime, the Indians scored first, and the Braves almost matched their score, but dropped a 4th down touchdown pass to end the game. This loss ended the Braves' season at 2-8 and winless on the road. Sadly, they now have back-to-back 2-win seasons. Wrestling was in action Tuesday when they took on Coker College in Hartsville, South Carolina. The Braves had lost 2 previous matches, so they really wanted to come out on top for this one. A huge pin from Brandon Sloop early on started the Braves off right. They followed up with a 12-5 decision from Nick Daggett, and freshman Ronnie Petro won convincingly in a match that went less than 4 minutes. Pembroke finished out the day with 24-17 victory. They are now 2-2 on the season. Cross-country freshman Joshua Kepler is not quite ready to put an exclamation point on his season. Last week, the Kenyan was awarded Southeast Regional Athlete of the Year. Just another accolade added to his resume. He's won 3 races out of the 4 he's competed in. And speaking of cross-country, the Braves came away with a 4th-place finish in Florida at the NCAA Regional Championships. To top it off, the men were given an at-large bid to the National Championships in Pittsburgh. December 1st is the set date for them to run, so they'll be making the trip this weekend. This will be the team's 3rd appearance at the NCAA Championships. I think I can speak for all of Brave Nation when I say we're proud of what's been accomplished. Good luck this weekend and bring us back some gold. Men's basketball hosted Wingate University in their home opener. The Braves came out on top, winning 76-69. 21 second-chance points anchored their offensive production, while their 14 blocks was a Peach Belt Conference record. The team plays again Saturday at home against a 1-4 Young Harris team to begin conference play. The women are coming off some rough days on the road, which includes a loss to their rival up on Interstate 95, Fayetteville State University, by 13 points during Thanksgiving week. Then they had an exhibition game against Division I UNC Greensboro Sunday. Last year, the Braves took the Spartans into overtime, but ended up losing by 3 points. This year, it was a much different story. The Braves scored only 8 points in every quarter and went on to lose by 40 points, 72-32. Like the men, they also start conference play on Saturday. Next week, I'll tell you how that plays out, and I'll tell you how Braves swimming after their tri-meet on Mars Hill does in North Carolina. Good luck again to men's cross country in Division II National Championships event Saturday, December 1st. You can watch that by pay-per-view online at FlowTrack. I'm Ty the Sports Guy. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Ty, and that's all for us. I'm Abigail Brown.
And I'm Alexis Clinton. We're out of here. We'll see you next week as we wrap up the semester.
Thanks for watching.